Namaste, my friends. Welcome to Happy Jack Yoga Podcast. My name is Happy Jack, live from Muskoka, Ontario, Canada headquarters. And our fearless co-host is not here with us today. Hanna is on vacation. Well-deserved holiday, 2 weeks, being with family. She's at a wedding in Finland, so we'll get to connect with her in upcoming weeks. But I'm happy to be here. I was away last week, and a lot has happened in the last few weeks. Like my God, I won't get into all the stories of it, but from being a part of a Lakota indigenous community in West Virginia, it was just such a beautiful experience being with this indigenous community and doing sweat ceremonies. And this is where in this vision quest, where 4 individuals went up a mountain. And they spent 3 nights there, 4 days, 3 nights, with no food and no water. And they just got extreme clarity on vision. I know it sounds a bit extreme. Don't know if that's for all of us. And don't worry, as yogis, members of the community, this is not a requirement to fast from food and water. But anyways, was a part of this really powerful indigenous community. And we were down at the bottom of the mountain doing these sweat lodges. And kind of chanting these Indian songs and coming together in community. So went from there, then over to the UK, got to be together with some of our team, getting clarity on the vision going forward. I was scoping out retreat centers, and now back here in Muskoka, in Canada, and with all of you. And it really is an exciting time. It could be easy to focus on the challenges happening. There's a lot of craziness happening in the world right now, and yet this is there's this idea of nothing has any meaning except the meaning that we give it. And so as leaders, as yoga teachers, as circle facilitators, we get to choose. We get to choose what we consume, not just what we drink and what we eat, but what we consume with the media, with the TV, etc., and really focusing on and deciding what is the meaning that we give things. And not that life is easy, not that it's clear, not that it's doesn't require effort, but at least now at this moment, I'm finding it very exciting, looking forward. And a big part of it is because of you. We got beautiful souls, seeing Cece, Pam. We got Austin representing Massachusetts. We got Lorna, always over in Portugal. Sarah and George, UK. Satu, Team Finland. Rita, South Africa. Brother Jim, so great to see you again, my friend. We got Andrea, Tammy, Evelina, and Sue. And this is a big part of what Happy Jack Yoga is about. Is being able to be in community, to be in conversation. And I'm just going to take a deep inhale. Let's all for it together. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, clearing breath. One more time, deep inhale. Exhale, let it go. And just knowing that, a pause, a quote unquote break, can just be one breath away, one moment away. And an exciting thing, for those of us here at Happy Jack Yoga University, many who are on the call with us, we are in the middle of right now leading a brand new 25-hour certification. It's called Sharing Circle Facilitation. And we're really learning how to hold space, how to be present, how to be authentic, how to create an environment that uplifts people, that is safe. And this is an opportunity we have as yoga teachers, whether it's in leading a single yoga class or a workshop or a retreat. But I was, I'll be honest with our podcast community here. I was joking with the people live with us here today. I showed up here. I'm feeling so good today. We had a great call this morning. And then we just had the sharing circle call, and I was getting ready to kick off the podcast, and I'm like, can't wait to connect with Hanna. We got so much to catch up on. And then I remembered Hanna's on holiday. So she's on a well-deserved holiday. which means I'm here solo with you and we don't have a guest. But you know what? This is an invitation from the universe. This is an invitation to embody what we've been practicing in our sharing circle facilitation course. And so I'm just gonna go on a limb here and call on a few friends and have a conversation. So first, I'd like to bring Austin. I'd like to bring Austin on the line. Recently joined the community in Massachusetts. Austin, it's so great to have you here with us again, a part of this course. Welcome, brother.
Thank you, Jack. So good to be here.
Yeah. And so we connected through the Bhakti Yoga Conference, which would have been earlier this spring. And, you kind of on this path, this spiritual path, seeking,
Mhm.
ended up joining the community. Would you give us a sense, what is it that, and I don't want to ask too big of a question, of like the purpose of life, but what is it that you're really, what I see now, you're young, you're healthy, you're fit, you got it all together, you got the whole world ahead of you. What is it that you're seeking right now, my friend? What is it? And this is a question for all of us to reflect on.
Mhm.
What is it that brought you here? What is it in search of?
That's a deep question, a great one though. I think it relates to, what we're all looking for. And I've been on this path a while now, and I think the seeking has been less over time, and kind of just being natural and being happy with the way things are. With your Bhakti Yoga conference, I mean, for that just shows that I think being selfless is such an important part of life, and so much of the enjoyment that I get these days comes from helping others and following that kind of bhakti guide of selflessness is the best way to just pure enjoyment and going with the flow of life, I think.
That's awesome. That's so great that you recognize that. I can tell you're younger than me, and in my earlier years, it's not too distant past. I was more focused on myself. Not that I was like a bad person, but I was just a little bit more self-centered. And Hunter might say I still have some of that, but but there is something about this bhakti practice, this spiritual practice, this yoga practice that it just gives us a different perspective, and it comes with maturity and but it really is beautiful when we can not be living so much for ourselves. And of course we still need self-care and we need to nourish ourselves and care for this temple, but when
Yeah.
we have a greater purpose,
Mhm.
do you sense, you mentioned you've been on this path for some time, which is awesome. Do you feel that you have a greater purpose, a big why, a big mission that you're following?
Yeah, that's something I'm still trying to figure out, I guess, and why I love the program so far with Happy Jack Yoga, to kind of help follow that path that others have been on and make that more clear for myself. Yeah, I think teaching is the next step for me for sure. I've studied a lot of these different philosophies, similar to you have. I've gone to a Buddhist retreat this past weekend as well, and that was really cool to be able to share, what I've learned from that as well. So just taking these practices that are thousands of years old, like we discussed, and helping show people that there is a way out of kind of this suffering, this anxiety of life, by going with the flow and releasing that attachment to how you want things to turn out, I think.
That's awesome. I love that. I love we were just talking with Pam on the previous call, the sharing circle call, about not having an agenda. And so this is just the fact that you came to the Bhakti Yoga conference, but you're also went to the Buddhist retreat this past weekend. So you're just really open to learning and receiving and growing. But I love that you just shared that you're now feeling the call to teach. Because I know there was a stage, I guess I started teaching right away, but I see many people on this journey and they can just be really hungry to keep getting certifications, more training,
Yeah.
more, it's like, and that's good, but at some point, there is value in sharing it and practicing it, even if we're not making a profession of it, just it helps us to integrate it and make it more real when we share it with others. So that's awesome that you're thinking of that.
Thank you. Yeah, looking forward to teaching that. Like I said, I've gotten so much out of it. So it's just kind of the logical next step of more people should know about this stuff and just help people kind of have a smoother time.
That's awesome. Well, that's a beautiful mission, and we're so honored to be on the journey with you. Thank you for taking the time. Impromptu. This wasn't planned. We might call on a couple others here, but just appreciate you taking the time and being on the journey with us.
Thank you, Jack.
Yeah, we're sending the love, high vibes. Massachusetts in the house. Nice one. Thank you, Austin. This is it's beautiful when we get to meet people who are like-minded, and we might be not be exactly the same and not exactly the same values and beliefs, but there's like a level of respect and understanding and openness, and that's really what we're discovering this past week with the sharing circle facilitation. But I'm thinking I want to check in actually with I want to just briefly check in with Jim and get Jim on the line. Jim, it's so great to see you.
Yeah, this is unexpected.
Yeah, we're here. We're live. We get to have a conversation. When was the last time we connected?
Last time I think I saw you was at one of your be
The
two
retreat?
the retreat. Was it last year or 2 years ago?
Two years ago now, the Muskoka
Yeah,
retreat. That was so
yeah.
beautiful when, we and by the way, heads up, it's happening again. We didn't do it this year, but it's happening again in Muskoka next summer if it works out. But that was so beautiful when we got a chance to connect at that retreat and just be together in community in the circle. Was there something? Look, I've got a few questions, but what inspired you to join us today? It's so great to see you.
Well, I'm gee, that's a good question. Um, a couple things. One, I'm kind of, checking out the spiritual group. That's why, I've joined that. So I'm sort of looking for a community.
Yeah.
I see where I can fit in. And, so that's sort of, so yeah, I signed up for that. I'm doing I think part of that, yeah, I get the 25 hours course
Yeah.
which I'm going through. And because I'm getting lazy, I'm letting you do the work for me as far as Indian philosophy. So I'm listening to you because it is, as you've said in your courses, it's a bit of a hard read, and you've given such a good overview. And then, yeah, it's just kind of where I'm at in my journey. I mean, you talk about, published, I just, well, I just turned 65 on Thursday, and
Hey,
my
happy
first book,
birthday
thank you. My first book came out on Thursday.
on your birthday.
Well,
Wow.
it was planned.
Yeah, of course.
It's free. It's free on Amazon on the Kindle downloads right now. Just type in my name, search for it. I've only got one book out. I got two more coming out next month, but that's what I'm working on.
Well, we would love to share that. So maybe if seeing George maybe making a note here, if we search Jim Daunt, Daunt, we'll put the link in the chat and maybe we can include it in the podcast as well.
Well, it's
Beautiful.
yeah, it's called Insights into Awareness, the role of duality and non-duality.
Wow. Beautiful.
So it's just I don't know, my thoughts, contributions, experiences, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone will find it valuable or not, but it's something I've always wanted to write, and I finally did it. And
It's your truth. It's your truth, my friend.
yeah, it is. And so, um, yeah.
That's beautiful. Well, it's so happy to see you again, and to be back. And for those who are listening and not aware, so what Jim's sharing about, we have this. We've got the whole Happy Jack Yoga University, which is like a lot. 200-hour, 300-hour, more than 30 courses. So that's for the enthusiast. I'm all in, want access to everything. And then we have the spirituality group, which is a little bit more focused on our spiritual practices and those kinds of things. and we also get to meet weekly. And as you mentioned, you also get access to a few of the spirituality, philosophy type courses. Yeah, but I love that you're, always a learner. It doesn't matter, 65, 45, 85. We're here to learn and grow.
Well, there's always more. It's been a great path for me because I know we crossed paths several times. I think I first saw you I think when you first joined in Business Mastery years ago.
Wow.
So when I first saw you, I think you were just joining the Platinum Partnership, and then you started leading yoga for Wealth Master, other things like that. So the Tony Robbins crowd is where.
Yeah.
Then I realized you're just up the road from me. So
Amazing. Such a small world,
yeah,
So I would be so interesting to hear, out of curiosity, maybe the listeners as well. If you knew me, so when I was signing up for Platinum Partnership, that would have been 8 years ago, 2017.
yep.
Do you see a difference in what you observed of me in 2017 versus who you met, say, at the retreat, a couple of years ago?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you notice?
Uh, how do you? Well, there's more maturity. I think there's more. I, um, you're more at peace with yourself.
Mm.
You're more centered, um, and I think you've just got more life behind you too, because you've been through a lot of very good experiences. I don't know where you at when you first at Business Mastery, but you were, but if I remember correctly, because I just got glimpses of you, but I think you did tell a bit of your story, but you were just starting your own Happy Jack at that time, and that was more in the infancy stage than what it is now.
Really
And
growing, yeah.
and then you did your Harvard Divinity, and I think that's really, even now from where I saw you 2 years ago,
Probably
it's,
different. That's right. Yeah, from that.
and we all, I mean, that's the journey. I mean, I where I started, 15, well, it's always been going on to some extent, but where I really got into, it's funny, I got into Tony Robbins, but that triggered a much deeper spiritual journey than I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
Didn't expect, and the people I've met. Have you ever met Ananda Giri?
No.
You don't know that name.
No. Say the name again.
Ananda Giri.
No.
Oneness. Were you ever at
Oh,
Oneness?
definitely. Yeah, I'm familiar. Yeah, in India. Yep.
Yeah. So he was one of the monks from Oneness and One World Academy.
Okay.
I had some, you get experiences like that. It's just phenomenal. You
Yeah.
know.
Isn't that so? That's the beautiful thing for each of us to reflect on life and think about how, like, I'll tell you what, like, even the things that we don't want, the things that we don't wish upon other people, they're like some of the best things that happened to me in life could never have happened if I didn't get diagnosed with cancer. If that didn't happen, which obviously nobody wants that, I wouldn't have went to Hippocrates Health Institute. It wouldn't have opened up some doors and created some opportunities. And it's like the point being how everything just being so connected, right? Everything serves a purpose, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's the journey. I mean, yeah, there's things I've been through I would wish on no human being. But if I had to do it over again, and if that's the only way it would take for me to get where I'm at today, I would do it again. For all the pain it put me through,
Mm.
because it's I prefer to do it a different way if I could figure it out. But that's what it took me to get here, and I'm I'm in this place where I didn't even think was possible. So that's to me that's just the awesomeness of this journey that we're on.
It's so true. That's beautiful. Well, it's just such a pleasure to reconnect with you, Jim, be on this journey, and we'll see you on spirituality calls coming up, Sundays at 10, whenever you're able to join. and hopefully in person at the next Muskoka retreat next summer if that works out. But whenever it's meant to be.
Yeah, and that's yeah. I'm just trying to get into the pattern now. Of the calls and things like that. It'll be a little bit more. I'm just finishing up. I've got a month left at work, and then I'm done 9 to 5 gig. I'm starting my own. I'm getting out of corporate. And
Nice.
that's kind of with the launch of the books and things like that.
Very cool.
So yeah, it's all coming together. I mean, I've been planning this. Yeah, well, I've been planning this for a long time, but it's coming together where I'm going to be doing some coaching and things like that, as well as well, see how my books. If people like my books, they like what's there. I'll do more of that.
Outstanding.
But,
I love
if it connects, if it does, if it doesn't, it doesn't. It's I'm good with that too.
Put yourself out there. I love
Yeah.
it. Well, let's make sure that we get your link in the chat so people are able to stay connected. And we're wishing you all the best, my friend. But we're certainly going to connect again soon in Zoom.
Yep.
And
Yep.
happy belated birthday. And
Thank you.
Let's send all the love, high vibes to your brother Jim, right here.
Thank you.
Fellow Canadian, love it. Yeah, it's we just never know. Just never know how life is going to bring us to this particular path, to this space, and it's all about the people that we spend it with. And so that being said, actually I want to bring on our friends over in Kent, UK. I guess Sarah and George on the line here. I thought we could. So great seeing you. Thank you for saving me. Thank you all for saving me when I realize I'm running solo today. And Hunda's always like, make sure you invite somebody as a guest. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll figure that out. And then didn't happen.
All these handy guests just show up, don't they? It's amazing.
That's right. That's the benefit of running this live in Zoom. But we had the opportunity to spend some time together recently, just thinking about the future of Happy Jack Yoga. And as Jim just alluded to, Happy Jack Yoga started in 2010, but perhaps when I saw him, 10 years ago, we were really just starting to grow and get things, growing the yoga school and being a part of Business Mastery. But now as we look forward from here, you guys have been a part of the community for a couple of years as participants, as students. And now, really helping to craft and create the vision forward.
Yeah.
What would you say? I mean, what is something that you're most excited about, or just something as we think about going forward? I know there's so many.
So much.
What that might be relevant for. It's all relevant, but or whatever you're most excited.
What can we talk about?
What can we talk about? Well, I guess you've just announced Muskoka.
Yes.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, that's super exciting to get back to that, because I know people really, really love the Muskoka retreat. So I think that we're going to be kind of sending that out to everybody in due course, aren't we, very shortly. But that literally was only decided yesterday, so it's hot off the press, everybody.
And let me just say on that, just to expand on that, it was really helpful having the conversation. This comes back to what we were talking about with Pam on the last call about not having an agenda. And, so if I was honest with you guys and with Hanna, no surprise, everybody knows I'm loving Bhakti Yoga. And it's just, it's serving me and it's helping me and becoming a better person. And I don't have an agenda of like getting other people to join or, do the same thing as me. But I was starting to plan out Happy Jack Yoga retreats such that there was like a Bhakti influence or element to all of them. And it was really helpful for you guys and Hanna to remind that, we've got India. Like we're going to India every year, and that's an opportunity to really dive deep into spirituality, into Bhakti Yoga. But that's not everybody in Happy Jack Yoga is on that path. So it makes a lot of sense to do, something very neutral in our home, Muskoka, a little bit more Tony Robbins element. If you've been, there's the board breaking and, just more of a community, a summer yoga retreat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people, even if they don't identify as Bhaktas, will quite enjoy the Bhakti experience. But for some people, it may be a little bit beyond what they're comfortable with if it's not something that they've explored very deeply, or if they've only literally just joined. It's quite a lot. It's beautiful and it's amazing, but it can be perhaps more than some people are ready for at this stage, or it doesn't resonate with them at all. So what we really wanted to do was enable options. So yes, India is very spiritual. It's very kind of bhakti and chanting and all of that, which is fabulous. And it's very Indian because that's their culture, which is fantastic. But we thought that it was quite a good idea as well to have a more standard Happy Jack offering. And for people, if they're Bhaktas, they'll still enjoy it and have an amazing time. But if they're not into that quite so much, it enables them to experience retreats with you guys as well. So I think that it's going to be good to have both.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're literally just still putting details together, but there is going to be like an optional at the end of that summer weekend where we are going to have an opportunity to have a spiritual bhakti experience with some kirtan music, with a vegetarian feast and all of that. But that's kind of like hey, if anybody wants to stick around. Yeah.
Exactly. Bhakti optional rather than Bhakti obligatory, if you know what I mean.
I was going to say the other thing that's, although there's so many things that are quite exciting, but obviously we can't give details of everything. We're looking at the course schedule for next year, and if anyone is looking to get their 500-hour certification, then there are over 30 25-hour certified Yoga Alliance courses that are already in the membership, and we're already planning in a number of new courses.
Ones, which are really exciting.
They are very exciting. So the Sharing Circle Facilitation is amazing.
Yeah.
We've completed it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
There's the Journey Home course is coming up.
September.
And His Holiness Radhanath Swami will be coming to the call, which is a very rare opportunity to get to speak directly to him. So that will be amazing. We have a new course called The Science of Yoga coming out next year, which will be more the kind of practical. It's sort of like the yogic elements, why certain things actually work, and how to kind of bring it into modern day science and make it practical for your classes. So it's not theoretical.
No.
It's like, this works and this is why it works, and you can go and do it to your class. So that's another one coming out that we can talk about, but we've got some others in the pipeline which we can't announce yet, but they'll be amazing. So there are so many exciting courses out there.
And what I'll probably be doing as well in the next couple of months is sending out an email to all the active members to say, obviously we're going to have some new courses, but then we're going to revisit some old courses as well, because that's how we roll. And we're going to get people to pick their favourites. And you might not get your exact favourites, but if we get people's, top 5 say that they would really like to do live again, we'll be doing a big survey, and we'll obviously bear that in mind very heavily with the courses that we pick to rerun in 2026, because we want to serve you. We want the courses that people want to do. So that's going to be coming out soon, not immediately, because we've got a few other things that we're working on, but that will then help shape 2026 and hopefully make it so super exciting that people never leave.
I'm not going anywhere.
No, I know.
Other things, we recently introduced guest yoga. So we do live yoga once a week. On Wednesday, and we've recently enabled those that have got 200 or 500 hour certifications in yoga teacher training from Happy Jack Yoga, that we're giving them the opportunity to teach, to get some experience, so that you can say, I have taught for Happy Jack Yoga. So that is an amazing way to empower the community. And
it gives a lot of variety as well, because obviously we're giving people kind of a remit as to kind of what they should be doing. So we're after kind of a moving class, so it's not just a nidra or something. So when you turn up for the live yoga, it should be an asana class, but we're getting a massive variety of classes. So it's really interesting to see, although all these people have done Jack's training and they're all 200 hours certified and they know the hero's journey, we're getting a real variety of classes. So it's really interesting. and people are getting experience. And once we've got everybody through once that has put their hand up to do it, we'll be coming back round again, and that will enable people to improve, frankly, because, you know, part of it is that we want to help people get to be better yoga teachers. So some people may literally be, I've just finished my 200 last week, get me on the road to Sarah. Okay, I'll stick you on. And everybody's very kind, so don't worry. You don't have to be perfect, and they'll be supportive. And if you're not perfect, we're all good. And then there are some people who have been teaching for years and years and years, and they're bringing in stuff from lots of different places. So you'll end up with a very different class. So you never know what you're going to get. And it's very interesting on a Wednesday now.
And I'd say, you know, we've had so much really positive feedback from both the teachers that have done it and the students that have participated in the guest yoga.
So it's exciting on a Wednesday.
So it is really good. And I'd say the other thing is, you know, one of the problems if someone does want to become a yoga teacher rather than just deepening their yoga practice is if you try and go for a job somewhere or to pitch, I'm a yoga teacher, and you've just qualified, they go, well, what experience have you got? It's like, well, I haven't got any. Whereas this now just gives you instant experience that you can just sign up and be a guest teacher 1 week. You've got your experience. So that's amazing.
It truly is a win-win-win for everybody, you know, because a big part of our, you know, our mission is empowering conscious leaders and creating these circles and collaborating together as a community. I mean, the easiest, simplest way is, you know, Hanna or myself kind of just keep showing up Wednesday at that time. And there's value that we've been doing that for 5 years. But it's like exactly what you just described. Let's doing this together. Giving each other opportunities and for growth. And if somebody wants to practice with me, well, there's many videos.
There's many Jack videos.
Same as with Hanna, you know, so you can go and find that anytime on demand. But if you know, to be able to
celebration,
to be able to practice with others, and it's just about coming together as community and supporting one another.
Exactly, because, you know, it's not perfect, but you don't have to be perfect. You know, everybody's on a learning curve, and this is a good opportunity to improve in a safe environment, if you know what I mean. You know that the people in your class are rooting for you, you know, as you're teaching. So it's a really nice environment to be in.
I've got one more exciting. I don't know if I can.
I don't know. You're going to announce
how many
everything.
Can I say? You know, we're working on a project to give back to the world, you know, globally, and this is a really exciting project. We haven't got all, you know, we haven't created the entire project yet, but it would be a way that we can help all the communities worldwide to help those people kind of suffering with trauma, PTSD, grief, everything, you know, across the world. And we'll be empowering members of our community through the teacher training, specialist training on this, in order to be able to deliver this worldwide. And, you know, and our ultimate aim, you know, in sort of 10 years time is for us to be putting 10,000 people a year through that program for free. So we want to give that back to the communities worldwide. So it's an incredible selfless service act, you know, an act of savor that we are planning to do. It will happen. We haven't got it ready yet, but
because it's quite an operation to get it going, and that's going to be mostly Hannah led, isn't it? Because that's really what she's super excited about. And that will be rolling out sort of hopefully by the end of this year. We'll just start getting it going.
We'll start some beta testing in the beginning,
exactly, because we want to get it right.
Again, exciting.
That's so cool. And just exactly what we heard from Austin about this idea of selfless service, about giving back, and we just see it as a way, again, collaborating with the community. Because if you think about it, you know, we have, you know, I'll keep it anonymous just using first names, but we have Angie, for example, who works with the AA Alcoholics Anonymous community. And so, you know, just she's connected there. And then we've got Ryan, who's an ex-firefighter in Toronto. And so he's and we got lots of paramedics and so people who are in these communities and circles where they could really benefit from these tools, and they might not have access. And so, like, seeing this as a way, you know, and all of us, you know, we got many yoga teachers here. We have to think about sustainability, including financial sustainability. But if once we can kind of figure out the basics to take care of our needs, And then, coming back to what Austin said, it's like, how can we, and what you just described, how can we give back and serve and do this as a collaboration, not to be like, hey, look at us, we're doing Seva, but like to really, that's not the point, of course, but really to engage the community, to empower members of our community, and let's go do this together. Let's really heal and awaken and serve.
Yeah, because there's a certain number of people we can have within Happy Jack, and obviously it's awesome and people can really benefit from being within the community, but we can be exponential, literally, if we start training our members to go out to bigger groups. Literally, we're not limited. It can grow and grow and grow. It's really exciting.
Yeah,
that is exciting. Yeah, so many things. So many things.
Going to be busy in 2025, Jack.
Yeah. But it's all good. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The new courses, the whole next year, new courses. By the way, that Science of Yoga, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the facilitator for that is live on the podcast with us here. So if she wasn't on video, we almost start picking her brain, but we'll find out who that is. But thank you guys so much for sharing, and being a part of this and co-creating, and couldn't do it without the team. I see we got CC live with us, and a shout out to Brandon as well. Yeah, it's honestly, it started. Hun and I are the co-founders of the yoga school, but it started with me some years before that, just kind of a lone yogi vagabond, and that's how many of us start. But then all of a sudden, I found a partner in Hanna. And then all of a sudden we found a team member in Cece. And then all of a sudden we found great other people, yourselves. And it's like, to be able to do this together, it's such a gift. And when we understand our nature, that's something we really discovered a couple of weeks ago. When in the beginning, and I'm sure many of us on the call here know that in the beginning, we have to wear all the hats. I'm the administrative assistant, I'm the salesperson, I'm the CEO, I'm the yoga teacher, all this stuff. And we have to do that at the beginning, but eventually we can get the right people in the right seats, and then we can just stay in our lane and do the thing we love. And it's like, honestly, if things kind of fall into place the way that we're planning, even though I'm going to be, quote unquote, working 7 days a week around the clock, it doesn't feel like I have to do any work. It feels like I just get to do what I want to do. This is awesome. Yeah. So that's like the ideal, when we can find the right role and the right path.
Exactly. Well, here we are. We're doing our thing, and it's lovely to have everybody's support as well. And as I say, watch this space. It's really very interesting things are coming down the road.
Yeah, amazing. I love it. Well, let's send some love, high vibes. Kent, UK, Sarah and George representing. Awesome. Yeah, all those things. As I see some of the names on here, Sherry, for example, coming to India with us, and several others as well. It is exciting times. But I feel like calling on my brother Alan. As we haven't had a chance to connect for a little while. We are live on the Happy Jack Yoga podcast, but we're calling on a few friends, members of the community, and I don't know if this is a coincidence, but it's the last three. So Jim, who's on here, who we called on randomly, met at Tony Robbins. Sarah and George, who just spoke, met at Tony Robbins, and now our friend Alan. Also connected through that community. It's almost like the Sarah Beth Yoga connection. A lot of beautiful souls connected through there. Yep. But brother, it's great to see you.
Little noisy here. I'm at the coffee house. Caught you in the morning, which is just took the ferry over from Friday Harbor in the island. It was beautiful reconnecting with you through the Bhakti program that you had, and having Sage on, and just got to reconnect with her again through UHPW, which I'm still a part of that community, very much so, and I'm still that sort of token guy, but it brings it full circle, and you come up quite a bit. Happy Jack Yoga and the whole community, and connecting those communities and bringing them together has still been my goal ever since the founding days of this whole experience of Zoom and technology, and the gift that it allows us to then connect at a whole nother level, which is very exciting. And that was the whole thing back then, is to take that knowledge base at a center, whether it be the yoga and the teachings and the information and that knowledge, and connect it to all these little hubs, and then see that reflection that happens as we share that knowledge, as we share these experiences, and everything becomes brighter. Everybody becomes brighter. And it's what happens in that yoga class, right? As students and teachers learn and grow from each other, now we're seeing it via the technology on a global connection. And we're seeing a lot of these teachings that a mentor of mine, Peter Russell, the global brain, pointed out was going to be happening, this consciousness curve, which is very steep, as we see these teachings that used to be spread out through eons in time and kind of dissipate through writing and word of mouth. But now these same teachings are popping up everywhere and reflecting and growing and learning, and we're experiencing them even through what appears at sometimes to be a sort of a darkness and a challenge. And at the same time, we also have this light. And so you're expressing right now what we just heard, that how that is actually overcoming these challenges and growth. And it's just exciting, beautiful. So thank you. There you go.
I love it. It's so exciting. It really means a lot coming from you, Alan, because I got to acknowledge you. You're so committed to your growth and to learning and immersing yourself. You've done some very, it means a lot, your kind words. You've done a lot of serious study in the Vedic teachings, and you were so kind to share some of your materials with me. And just knowing you just keep putting yourself in these groups and these circles and these finding mentors, and all with the intention of like, how can I give back? How can we uplift? But I'll tell you, every time you're on a call here with us, it's just such a joy. We love your smile and presence.
Well, thank you. You too. It's a mirror. It's a reflection. Once recently, to share one of those mentors, an elder of mine, Mato of the Lakota tradition, and a shaman, he tuned in to something that we talk about a lot. Tony, in the Tony world, and even here, that shifting from this perception of things happening to us to things happening for us. Well, he called right when we were reviewing that, and he goes, Alan, he says, to us, for us, but there's another level, he says. It's through us. So once you can own the for, then you get out of your own way, and it allows through. And that's what we're beginning to witness now here within all of this. And that's so powerful and so exciting. So to and for and through.
Wow.
Beautiful.
That's so beautiful. I had not heard that before, but I really like that. But a beautiful synchronicity I like. I know you jumped on midway in this call. I opened up this podcast by sharing just a couple of weeks ago, for my first time, I was a part of a vision quest with the Lakota tradition. And so four questers went up the mountain fasting, and I was a part of the sweat community down below. But if you said Lakota 3 weeks ago, it would have just went in one ear out the other. But now I'm like, I know what you mean when you're talking the Lakota indigenous tribe.
Yeah, there you go. I tended the fire in support of my adopted father, who did Sundance ceremonies. So I was a man who tended to the fire people and to the stone people in the lodge, and for that sacred ceremony for years.
Wow.
That's a large part of my connection there. And there's a beautiful documentary series that is bringing a lot of these traditional people and their wisdom together, that's based out of Toronto. So it's called, I'll send you a little link to that. The name is just something song, The Eternal Song, I believe, is the name of this film series. So something to explore for those of you who are listeners and stuff. this
Yeah.
couple that are touring all over, and it was just the Zoom calls afterwards of all of these various elders and a lot of the women. Beautiful to hear their stories. Yeah. So I
Wow.
can't recommend that enough.
Amazing. Well, we'll find
Yeah.
that out and check it out. And I mean, that's so amazing. I mean, just hearing you share about it, because I was just learning about Sundance, and to hear you were a part of that and supporting that, like that's a big deal. That's a very serious ritual. But making it relevant for all the yoga teachers here, what I got from that Lakota community was the sense of connection and love and unity and support and coming together. And it's what we see in UHPW and the Tony Robbins environment and Happy Jack Yoga, the Lakota. It's like they're different paths and different practices and different lifestyles, and maybe we eat different or talk different, but there's an essence, a thread line through all of these wisdom traditions. And I love that you're capturing the essence of that now in the way you present yourself.
Mirror.
Beautiful.
It's reflections, man.
I
Beautiful.
love it.
And those mirrors come together and everything gets brighter, right? And when you put that reflection together, the light just grows, We're a star's way of looking at the stars, and we're just reminded of that more and more these days. So
amazing.
Appreciate you so much, Jack. Thank you.
Likewise.
Thank you for having this space available for all of us to learn and grow in. Beautiful.
Thank you, my friend. We're sending our love, high vibes over to Alan, representing. Beautiful. Right from the coffee shop live. Well, thank you so much. It's just this is what we love to do, is connecting in here. And I want to check in with one more. Is Andrea available to hop on? Yes, I'm saying the name because actually it was funny. I was teaching actually for Tony Robbins this past week at Wealth Mastery, and sometime I had a Zoom room of like 100 of us in here, and sometimes I'd call on someone, but they didn't hear, like they had their volume down if they're on a breaker. So now like I said your name and I got a response. Andrea is present to join. It's so great to see you, Andrea. Oh, but we don't hear you for some reason. You hear us, but there's probably something with your mic. Because I see you got the earphones on. It's probably something to do with. I'll let you play. I'll let you play with that. If you figure it out, say something or get my attention. But anyways, I saw you were here, part of the sharing circle, and then again here as part of the sharing circle facilitation course, and now the podcast. Even our brother Brandon Morgan hopped on for a second. So great to have you here as well, brother. But I'll tell you what. I mean, yeah, look at that. It's so great. I gotta just say something. I gotta bring Brandon on. I don't know if I would take it off mute, because if it's loud, is it? Yeah, let me bring you off mute for a sec. Can you hear us, brother?
I can hear you.
Yeah. My dad said the funniest thing yesterday, because like he sometimes checks my Facebook, and he's like, how does this Brandon Morgan guy make a living? And I'm like, I mean, we pay him some money, but it's not like a big salary or something. But we make a bit. And he's like, it just seems like he's always on retreat. He's just always having fun, and he's just like always traveling and always in these cool places. And I'm like, yeah, he's created that life.
Yes, it's the monk life in a sense.
Yeah. Beautiful, man. Well, we're so happy to have you here, and I'm sure you weren't planning to hop on and share. We're doing the podcast, but Hun is on vacation this week, so I've just been meeting the community. But just in these last couple of moments, if you were to share with us, what's something that's really having a positive impact on you these days? You've got some beautiful, powerful rituals with regards to gratitude and incantation and just your intention setting. But is there something that's really working for you, or something that you're excited about as you walk this path?
Yeah, I would say my morning routine, I started to get up earlier than actually the morning program because I obviously do Mango RT every day, but I have like this morning priming little thing I do every single morning, which includes gratitude, just like you said. It's got affirmations, it's got breath work, and really it's been amazing because I've been teaching yoga now a lot more. So like I got a new yoga job opportunity where I'm going to be teaching on Thursdays, every Thursday, and just like everything's coming together, like, everything, like, and then also, just everything, like, and the only thing is I do more Krishna lunch. And so for me, it's the it's not the breakfast, I meant, it's the morning program. Like it really, and also applying myself more because I've actually made a recommitment to basically bhakti for myself, to like after I was with you and I seen, you with on that, with Radhanath Swami and all that stuff. It just really kind of, and then also following it up with Bhakti Tirtha Swami's event, it really just ignited my like love and passion for the bhakti path. So I basically, when I got back, I recommitted, and ever since everything's just increased. And so I feel like that, one, it's the morning, doing breath work and yoga every single day, and two, actually being fully present and committing to like the path and not just being half there, being fully present. That's like the main thing that's been really helping a lot.
Wow, that's awesome. And even if you end up, going on a different path, or it's kind of like wherever we are, we might as well commit ourselves fully. It's like you've given yourself this opportunity to go live at the ashram in Florida, instead of 1 foot in, 1 foot out, try it as an experiment. And also what I'm hearing you say is discipline and consistency. So consistently showing up, doing your rituals, and that's what it's all about. It's these little things done consistently is what leads to the huge results down. It's not,
Yes.
it's not that rarely is it that you put up one video on YouTube and it goes viral, and you get discovered like Justin Bieber. I mean, that's not a good plan. If that happens, that's cool, but it's these disciplined, consistently showing up and surrounding yourself with great people. Of course,
Yeah,
that's
and consistently posting for me because I feel like it's helping everybody else. Like you said, I didn't even know that your dad's watching you. I mean, like
yeah, yeah.
there's people watching that literally I don't even know, and they're inspiring people. I see people all the time loving my video, my stories and stuff. And so, being able to share the lifestyle that I'm living, I feel like it's inspiring other people. I get messages sometimes from people that are like, you inspired me to start doing breath work, and like I have a yogi here who's actually at this temple, and he was having an issue with, with the chanting. But then as soon as we started doing pranayama before then, he started to actually say that he feels more awake and he's able to do it. So it's like, it's really just amazing, to be fully here and be present and do the yoga. You got to incorporate your morning practice, in my opinion, and gratitude, 100%, like you said, gratitude.
Wow. This is what it's so good just to have these reminders, to because sometimes we get a little off track, but just having good people to remind us, come back to it, and that's the power of association, which we have with this community. You're living in an ashram in Florida, so you've got consistent, good association, and truthfully, it is something I'm craving and looking forward to. I love being home in Canada. You've mentioned as well when you go back to your family, there's an element of being nice to see your mom and your dad, and but then it's different when you've got association of people who are really committed to their health and their well-being and their service. So keep sharing, man. You're inspiring my late 70s dad. Who just kind of getting ready for a hip operation in a few days, and he'll just be like kicking back, healing, and following, living vicariously through Brandon Morgan around the U.S.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you for sharing, brother.
Yeah. Thank you.
Let's send the love, high vibes, Brandon, down in sunny Florida. Awesome.
It's a little rainy right now.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens. I'm sure that's nice, refreshing. But wow, thank you so much, everybody, for taking the time to be here. In these moments we had together, and Hannah will be back. She will be back. We'll get a chance to connect with her. And for those of you who are part of the Sharing Circle facilitation, I just got to say, I'm seeing Sherry's big smile. It's so great to see you, Sherry, right now. Sherry from Barrie. But Sharing Circle facilitation call is back on tomorrow. And so you join us live for that. As Jim mentioned, we've got a spirituality program. We meet on Sundays. We got so many different things. If you're feeling the vibe, you want to be a part of it, send us an email, info@happyjackyoga.com. Get all your yoga certifications online. We got what you need. As they say, as the students say, come for the yoga, stay for the community. But my friends, really wishing you an amazing rest of the day, and we will see you very soon. Namaste.